Greetings. Let's chat. First video of 2025. I feel like I say this every year, which is actually really good. It's going to be a good year. I think Reese will get his liver transplant this year. Let's hope. Reese and I have been working on lounge face stuff. There's lots of good stuff happening. I'm excited about products coming out. What else is good this year? I don't know. I think towards the end of last year, I just felt a good vibe shift. I'm going to do my makeup and talk. I'm not going to mention the products. I'll list them in the description. No, I'm not going to list them in the description. No, I will. But how do I make this easier for myself going forward when I edit this? I'm gonna just stop and say the product and the name so that the captions can transcribe it for me and I can copy and paste. This is the SHEGLAM Sunburst Glow Mixer in shade 0 Pearly White. I just wanted to come on here today and chat about everything, and it kind of feels like new beginnings. This is like the Charlotte Tilbury thing, but it's just evidently white for my fair skin. That's something that's been feeling good, is me embracing my fair skin. I feel like I've adopted a new way of seeing myself, which is nice. It's refreshing. I've kind of done the same makeup, same vibe, same clothing, same hair, same everything for so long because I've just been stuck in my ways, and it's what's worked for me all that time. But now that I'm in my 30s, I'm gonna be 32 in, what's the day? The 3rd of January. I'm gonna be 32 in 4 days. And I just feel like it's time to embrace a bit of change, you know, freshen things up. I feel like the ADHD thing has definitely been a huge one for me that's made me feel a lot more optimistic because it's made me realize how much more potential I have that I haven't been tapping into. I actually wanted to put powder on my face first, like around my T-zone, to see how that would, because apparently you can put foundation on top of powder. I've never done that before, but I've been finding that since I've been putting all this effort into my skincare, my face is so shiny and I hate it. I know people want their face to be shiny, but I don't. It's a texture thing. I hate my hair sticking to it. So apparently you can powder your face first and it helps to mattify. I don't know. I'm only going to do it on my T-zone. Oh, that's actually left color behind. I'm not into that. This is just the FENTY Pro Filt'r Lavender Instant Retouch Setting Powder. With the whole ADHD thing, I've witnessed some people, they make it into like a personality trait. And it's hard because like when you get this diagnosis, like I've wanted to talk about it so frequently, like there's so many things I want to talk about all the time. So I know that's why they're doing it, but sometimes their content changes and flips to a lot of that kind of content. And before I went down this journey myself, I was like, oh wow, this is a complete shift in their content, and I got sick of constantly seeing it because it didn't pertain to me at that time in my life. And even still now, I don't want to be consuming a lot of content around that because I've done the research that I need to do for myself and I've come to my own conclusions about it and stuff and how it affects me. So I've been really cognizant of not talking too much about it, but sometimes I'll do like a story or something because I find it really interesting, or I'll mention something because I still want to talk about it to some degree. I just don't want it to become overwhelming. I feel like I'm waving a flag around that says ADHD or something like that. Anyway, this is the TIRTIR Mask Fit All Cover Cushion in the shade 17W French Vanilla. This is the full size. The beast. This thing's huge. Also, I get a bit worried. I'm just an overthinker, obviously, by nature, but I get worried that when I do post about the ADHD thing, I get so many messages from people saying, oh my god, this is me, maybe I have ADHD, or I don't want to be, I don't know, because like maybe all of those people might have it and they need to go down that whole diagnosis journey. I don't know, I just don't want to like lure people into thinking they have something, even if they don't, or maybe they do, I don't know. I think again, it's coming from overthinking things, and like I saw it in my own comments when I said that I had ADHD, as people saying like, everyone has it these days. It seems like it's just social media. There weren't so many cases of ADHD before social media and all this stuff, and it's like, that's a super incredibly ignorant viewpoint to take and super uneducated and ill-informed. If you took 2 seconds to actually look into it, there's a reason why a lot of women are being diagnosed now, because a lot of the original diagnostic process was based off of boys. And so if you're a female or someone of color, all the best, kiss kiss. Let's see how you compare to a little boy. It's just it's wild when you actually think about that. It's so infuriating. But anyway, the makeup's going on fine where I do the powder, so that's good. So now that we're actually learning more about ADHD in women, a lot more people are getting diagnosed. Funny that. All these people that have just been struggling for their entire lives because they thought it was just a character flaw or a personality flaw, or they're just lazy or just need to be better at everything that they do, realize actually no, my brain works differently to everybody else's. And if you would like to wait 2 years and spend upwards of like $1,000 to get a diagnosis, go for it. I'm not sure if people think that all these people wanting to get a diagnosis are just chasing the medication because they're a class 8 substance and they're restricted. GPs can't even prescribe it unless they get approval or from a psychiatrist and go through a special training like that. GPs are medical doctors, like the only people that can prescribe ADHD medication is a psychiatrist. I had people in my comments saying that in the UK, public wait time is 6 years to get a diagnosis. I only went on this journey because I wanted to get some clarity. I just wanted an answer, and I have the privilege that I'm able to afford to do so. I was actually on the side of I'm not wanting medication because I didn't think I needed it. I had heard just from people that I follow mixed things about it. I was like, oh, you know, I have done okay so far. I can live without it. So I wasn't even going on this whole journey because of that. I wasn't like, oh yeah, I want some Dexies. That's the last thing I was thinking. I literally, like the opposite of what I was thinking is essentially. It was my psychiatrist that was the one that was like, try these, and so they're not addictive, you can start and stop as you please, they're heavily researched, they've been around for a long time, blah blah blah. The big issue is people that haven't been diagnosed using it as an excuse for certain behavior that may be toxic. So I just don't understand why people think that, I guess like this day and age, some people want to be labeled, like there's an appeal about having a label because it makes you feel special or different from other people perhaps. Maybe that's what they're insinuating, that people are just trying to stand out from others or something. I don't know. I'm sure that's the case for some people. I've read subreddits from people that have people in their lives that haven't been diagnosed that will use their undiagnosed ADHD to explain their just horrible behavior and stuff like that. That's not cool. But that doesn't mean you need to paint everyone that has ADHD with the same brush and say that you're all just like, oh, it's because you're on social media too much. Well, I didn't have social media when I first noticed these symptoms. I don't know, I think it's a really stinky vibe that people have when they say stuff like that. And it's still such a small percentage of the population. And also, I've been finding out that a lot of the people that I like most in my life have ADHD. And I guess some people would then see that and be like, see, everyone's got ADHD all of a sudden. Or maybe I connect with people that are similar to me. And so I end up having a lot of people in my life that are similar to me in terms of the ADHD thing. The same kind of energy. We probably prefer how we communicate with each other. We have the same kind of erratic thoughts and jumping from thoughts to thoughts and talking quickly and maybe interrupting and stuff like that. It's the same thing with influencers. You might follow me because there's a part of me that is similar to you and you relate to me because of that. And so we have similar personality traits. So you're more inclined to have personality traits that are like mine, and maybe that personality trait that I have is because of ADHD or something. Well, not personality trait, but like, I don't know. I can't really, it's hard for me to explain. I'm gonna use this one. This is another recent purchase. This is the, oh, don't make me say it, PUDAIER. PUDAIER in the shade 6. It's literally a sticker that says 6, so good luck. I got it from Yes Style. I get all of my stuff from Yes Style. I got another order coming. I'm so excited. Now, this blush, this is where it's getting tricky for me because I'm trying to figure out my blush placement. I've got a long face, so I need to break up this section here. What I'm gonna actually do is apply this to the back of my hand, I think, because I don't like how I can get the brush in the thing and then sometimes it touches the side of the brush too much and then I put it on my cheek and then I get like a line. So I'm just gonna rub it onto my cheek, on my hand first to get it a bit more kind of buffed into the brush. So if I apply it here, which is where I need to, my cheeks, that's going to kind of break up my face a bit. It's gonna look crazy on camera, but it never looks as crazy in real life. No, wait, no, it's the opposite. It looks crazy in real life and doesn't look crazy on camera, crap. I'm so used to bringing it up here, but I think that might be doing me a disservice. I don't think I need to bring it up here. I think that's better if you've got A, high cheekbones, or B, a rounder face because you're lifting it. I don't need my face to be lifted. Or actually, I'll probably do a little bit, but I might let's just try not putting it all the way up my cheeks this time. Let's try that. I think that as you get into your 30s, you start being more aware of the changes of your face anyway. But I've been noticing this. I've always had tear troughs. Tear troughs. It's troughs. Why did I say troughs? Since I was a kid, I found photos of myself from a kid and I have them. So that's just my face. But I'm noticing now, I have a photo that I took when I was taking selfies for something unrelated. And it's just aging, which is, again, fine. If you don't want to get filler or injectables or whatever, totally get that. Love that for you. just good for me, not for you, or whatever's good for her, not for me. You can see my cheeks here, the middle part of my cheek here, and I can see it here as well. And again, I want to preface this. I'm in subreddits and I see people saying, should I get the nose job or fix my chin or do that? And every single time you are seeing things that are not there. So I totally understand it. You're gonna see my face and be like, oh my God, you literally never would have noticed that or whatever. And that's fine. Like, and I appreciate that, but it's fine. I'm aware of that. And at the moment, all I get is Botox in my forehead and that's it. I don't even get my lips done anymore. I feel like having no lip filler makes you look so much younger. Anyway, I've lost volume here, which we all do as we age. Everything eventually starts pulling down. And because I've lost it there, it's given me a nice little cheekbone shadow, which I never used to have, which was great. I'll take that. It's accentuated the tear troughs now, and then it's kind of pulling down here. So I would like to get filler in this area, this mid-face area here, but I'm terrified, because I've heard so many bad things about tear trough filler, and I'm actually the opposite of probably what you would think when it comes to wanting to like alter my face. In general, I'm very risk averse. So when it comes to my face, I'm like ultra risk averse. Like I don't even want to try certain lasers and stuff because I'm scared it's going to butcher my face. So I'm not trying things willy-nilly. Let's just say that. Kosas Cloud Set in Airy. I need to wash my little, ew. Looks like a, no, I'm not gonna say that's disgusting, but I'm gonna say it like a skid mark. Ew! Side note, I was reading, I think it was a Reddit thread about what's something that your partner or ex-partner did that absolutely disgusted you. Oh my God, and someone said her partner always had skid marks, and there was one time, no, mute this now and I'm gonna wave when I'm done if you don't wanna hear this story. It isn't much worse than this, than what I just said, but it's a little bit worse. One day he was bending down and she could see actual on his skin. You bend down and your butt crack shows. No. Okay, we're done. So this is a really big deal for me. I definitely know I do want to get it because I have seen other people get it done, and that's the issue, is that when it's done well, you don't know that the person's had it. And so if someone just looks amazing, they might have had it, but I wouldn't know because I can't tell. So I don't know how successful it often is because I've always seen bad outcomes because people talk about bad things more than they talk about good things. And it's also scary because I'm trying to find a new injector. The one that I went to for my forehead Botox was new. She was lovely. I'll probably go back there again. But the rules have changed in Australia, at least I think it is, where you can't post before and afters on social media anymore. Anything like injectables. So I can't see their work. And a lot of injectors only post like the fresh afters and not like a few months or years down the line. And I've heard all these stories about how it stays in your face so much longer than everyone thought. And I watched a YouTube video. I'll actually link it in the description if you want to watch it, from an Australian, I don't know if he's a doctor. I think he's a doctor, but he does injectables. And he said, I'm not doing filler anymore, tear trough filler. Because one of the stories he shared, this isn't like a common thing, I don't think. Had this one client who the under eye filler was becoming really puffy. That's what I see most often is, you know how like really old people get those kind of puffy bags? It kind of looks like that after a while. So this woman, she went to him to get it dissolved. I don't know, tried to dissolve it a million times. He just couldn't get rid of it. It just wouldn't go away. And normally it does. And so she had an ultrasound or MRI or something, and get this, she had filler behind, what do the radiologists call it? The globe. Even worse, the globe, which is the eyeball. The filler had gone like behind her, basically behind her eyeball and into like her eye socket. And so this radiologist, absolute king, like that is terrifying. I would never, even if I was smart enough to be a doctor, I could never. I could be the best doctor in the world, but if I had one thing go wrong, I would never sleep at night. Ever in my life, I would be done. Anyway, he used an ultrasound. So he was ultrasounding her eyeball as he was injecting this dissolver behind her eyeball. Live action eyeball filler dissolving. So I heard that and I'm like, maybe I don't want filler. But in the end, this guy said that basically there is a way to do it, but it's just not the way that most people are doing it. And so now in my head, I'm like, oh my God, does everyone know? Has every injector watched this video? Do they know? Like, are they up to date with the latest research? And I was like, okay, so what do I need then? I would rather spend more money initially than get a filler for 1,000 years. Filler, like, it's gonna cost you more in the long run. It's maintenance. There's more chance of it migrating and going wrong. This is the CLIO Glass and highlighter in the shade, oh my god, this is my favorite, 01 Moon Glow. If that doesn't define my fair skin, then nothing else will. Moon Glow. Not like bronze glow, summer bronze, beach babe, sun-kissed, chocolatey caramel glow. It's like, no, moon, arctic, snow, white, ghost, crystal glow. Porcelain. Alabaster. Hashtag FFFFFF. Just a little side note again. I have plucked my eyebrows thinner because when I take a photo, they look too dominant. Now that I'm just like really having fun with like, changing up my look, like the fake tan and changing up my makeup and curling my hair, it's just kind of fun like finding out, actually, now that I've tried all these new things, like what makeup suits me now, like what eyebrows suit me. It's made me realize that I've kind of been doing the same thing for a long time and I just want to spice things up a bit. Like some days I'll do thinner brows, some days I'll do thicker brows, but it's just fun to try new things, you know? The issue is that I have my brows microbladed. I'm kind of limited to how much I can actually change the thickness. So I have very few hairs left. All of that here, that's all tattoo. That's tattoo there. This one's not too bad. And I know I can get it removed, but I think I would be inclined to regret that. So I'm trying to find the balance between like making them thinner while still having my tattoo. It's hard to explain. Anyway, I've plucked them down quite a bit. Like this area here, I can see that's kind of bare. That I usually have hair there. I plucked that. And I'm trying to start in the middle of the brow, like not in the middle in terms of here, like in the middle of the hair. So here, rather than before I was going kind of below first, then kind of drawing in the top or going from the top first. But no, now I'm trying to do it from the middle so I can keep them as thin as possible. And I also trimmed them as well, the beginning of my brows a bit, which helps a tad. I need to find a better primer for my nose, from the foundation on my nose, because it always comes off. That's the downside about that foundation, it's not very long wearing. So back onto that's what I was saying. I'm not one of those anti-plastic surgery people. When I get to a certain age, you bet I'll be getting like a mid-facelift or something. But even then, that like absolutely terrifies me. So I don't know. Maybe I'll get to that point and I'll be like, no, I'm too scared of the risk. Because some people do look amazing, then other people look totally unrecognizable. But I wonder if they left it too late and that's why they look so different. I think there's probably a sweet spot where if you do it at a certain time, you look a bit more like yourself still. And so I found this plastic surgeon in Perth. She specializes in facial plastic surgery. And first of all, I fangirl over doctors. Follow a doctor subreddit in Australia. It feels like a little peek behind the curtain, and I like to hear what they're talking about or complaining about or how it works or what the issues are and that kind of thing. Because ever since Reese got sick, we all know the doctors are incredible. But I just admire them so much. I think they're just, how long they study for, how much of their, like, reading that subreddit. So many people that are in med school or doctors are like, it is one of the biggest sacrifices you can make to your personal life. Financially, you're not even making that much money for a while until I'm guessing you're like working your way up or something. You spend so much money to study, you spend so much of your time studying. All of your 20s, like the prime of your life, depending on who you ask, I guess, is spent to just studying and working. And then when you are working, like the stress of that is just next level. I genuinely look up to people like that. I don't like idolize celebrities or famous people or anything. It's basically mainly people like that just devote their lives to helping people. And anyway, yeah, when Reese was in hospital and all the times he's been in hospital, I think I'm just so grateful to them for the care. And particularly one of Reese's specialists, just a beautiful woman who's been really important. She just makes it feel a lot more personal is what I'll try and say. I think it's definitely the female touch. But that's not always the case. Some of the other doctors are really great too. It just doesn't always see those ones, which is a shame. Anyway, where was I going with that? Oh, that's right. She specialized in facial plastic surgery or something. And I was looking at her website and all of these awards that she got in medical school, and she was like the standout student. And I thought, oh my God, I don't want to make it about her being a woman because that's unrelated to her success. Almost like saying like that she's a woman makes it seem like you would expect her to achieve less or something. I hope you know what I'm talking about. I just find that so inspirational. I just love women, and I just think you got all those awards, like you're so intelligent, so good at what you do. Oh, that's so inspirational. It's so amazing. Like specializing in facial plastic surgery. Oh my God. She has a lot of reconstructive stuff. Like I think it was a video or a picture or something of like someone's like jaw that had been detached. Anyway, amazing. So I messaged her clinic before the New Year's break, so I haven't heard back and I probably won't for another week. I just said, like, I sent some photos and I was like, this is just what I'm looking to kind of find a solution to. I don't know what you would recommend. I basically thought like it's probably fat grafting, that she does fat grafting, so I'm assuming that that would be the best option. But then, because I'm thinking about getting my implants removed and either taken out or resized to the smallest possible one, so I still get the upper pole fullness and the width, but I don't have the projection. I want it to be like flat, but still perky and wide. Not wide, but like I've got wide hips, so I want it to just feel like balanced with my body still. And so as part of that whole journey as well, I've been thinking about like, do I want fat transfer? Because a lot of people are getting that these days, but then I've heard so many bad things about that and how, because it's the nature of fat, it's like living tissue or whatever, it's human cells or whatever. God, you can tell I'm not a doctor. Your body can take to it differently. I don't know what the number is. This is just a number that I'm throwing out there. I think I've heard like either 40% or 60% actually stays in your body the first round. So you do like multiple rounds. And then I've heard like some people getting like lumpy bits, or one boob holds onto more of the fat than the other one. Then you have like different sizes. And I thought, you know what, I'm not really into that. And then you have to have a lipo. And that's not an issue. I don't mind getting lipo, but like it's just gonna increase the cost even more and like a longer recovery period and all that kind of stuff. And regardless, these are all conversations that I'm gonna need to obviously have with my surgeon. I've got a consult later this year. Damn, I forgot to put my lip tint on. My lip stain, that's what I've been doing, is doing my lip stain before my foundation. I'll still be able to do it. I'm just gonna wipe off the foundation. So yeah, I'm a bit nervous about even that, fat grafting underneath the eyes. Again, I've been researching it. It's always just so mixed. I know like no one's ever gonna have a universal opinion on stuff like this because everyone's body responds differently. Like someone's surgeon might have been better or worse than another person's surgeon, did a better job or a worse job. I'm gonna do my lips now while I'm thinking about it. So we'll see what she says. Then I've also just come back to, maybe it is just the best thing to try is the mid-face filler here. So not like right under my eyes, but just here, because this bit here, once that's a bit fuller and has the support, it'll pull up. And this bit here will pull up slightly, and just, I don't want width here. I don't want it in my cheekbones. I did that in like 2018 or something and I looked just like an alien. Replacing what I've lost essentially, like I'm not adding things that I didn't already have. I found a clinic that someone recommended, like an injector clinic. I've messaged them, emailed them, but again, it's the break, so they're probably not gonna respond until next week. Or the week after that. Oh, I haven't shared what this product is. I love it. Etude Dear Darling Marker Tint 06 Grape Soda. It smells like grape, like really grapey. So I'm gonna see what this injector says. Again, I sent photos. She is stunning. And if she's had it in her face, which I'm sure she has, then I can tell that she will be a good person to go to. But yeah, I just don't rush into any of these decisions willy-nilly, because I want to recognize myself when I look at myself in the mirror. If you have any of your personal experiences going down any of these routes, please let me know. It would be really helpful. It was really nice. I posted that picture of Reese and I, and it also kind of made me a little bit sad. I told Reese this. We went to that exact same spot in 2021, and I remembered because I remembered that we had this photo, and I was like, oh my gosh, let's get another photo in the same spot. And it was amazing because there was no one else at this national park. And don't worry, dogs were allowed. That's why Reese and I can only go to certain places, because we always bring memes. And so many parks down here are national parks, which I understand, so dogs aren't allowed. So we only go to the ones where they are. So I went to compare the previous photo we had and the new one that we took. And it just made me really sad because he just looked so much healthier in the one a few years ago. No, I'm not gonna cry, I'm not gonna cry. I just think that's why I want this liver transplant to happen so badly, because I just hate seeing him not look like himself in terms of like not be as healthy as he was. And he obviously hates it too. Just every part of his life is affected by it, and you just would never know. Unless he's like yellow or jaundiced. Jaundiced? Jaundiced. I think it's a jaundice. Yeah, you wouldn't. He's just so stoic. Even his doctor that we went and saw the other day, he's seen the same doctor since he was playing footy. And so his doctor's like, he played footy, he was a really good footy player, his sons played footy, Reese played footy, so they're all like stoic, suck it up kind of attitude. Even his doctor, who's, you know, masculine, I don't know how to say it, but was like, geez, I see these reports coming through, because all of his specialists always write down what essentially happened in the meetings that we have with his specialists, and then they send it on to his doctor. And so his doctor's always in the loop, and even his doctor was like, God, mate, you're bloody tough, like very stoic. You just, all the stuff you're going through, just so tough. I was like, God, hear it come from a man like that. My darling Reese. My darling Reese. I'm gonna put some sparkles on my eyelid. I just want to take that quality of life back again. Oh, it was so sad seeing that photo. And then I posted that photo of us on Instagram from the next day when we had lunch with my family. And people had been sharing it, like privately. And I was like, why are people sharing it? And I think I have a bit of PTSD from when I posted a photo of Reese and I before, and people were commenting like, ooh, is Reese okay? I think I'm so used to seeing him that I don't notice that if his skin is yellow or something. And I just deleted the photo because I'm like, it just makes something that was nice, like a cute little photo of us, into something that just reminds me of his sickness and that he's not well. And I know that he's subconscious about that as well. So then when people say, oh, like, he looks sick, that's not what you want to read when you already feel horrible and people are saying you look sick too. This is the SHEGLAM Crystal Jelly Glaze Stick in Starlit Silver. So then I was like, oh, I hope people aren't sharing that picture of us for that reason. And then I posted on my stories, I was like, I'm just curious, like, why are people posting, like, reposting that? And then it was nice because basically everyone said they noticed my fair skin and how nice it looked, and that I inspired them to try, like, reducing the amount they fake tan and stuff like that, which was so nice. So that they said that they were basically like sending it to their friends or their boyfriend or something and being like, oh, I'm gonna try and like reduce my tan because like Lauren looks so nice like that. And I was like, oh. Considering what I was expecting, that was such a beautiful realization that it wasn't what I thought it was, you know? This is the Urban Decay 24/7 Waterline Eye Pencil. I've been doing this a lot lately. It's just my upper lash line, really getting it into my upper lashes. I think the last thing I want to talk about was the hair curling thing. I washed my hair this morning and I was in the mood to film, so I was like, no, I'm not going to curl my hair just now. I'm going to do my makeup and then I'll film how I curl my hair, because a lot of people have been asking when I've got makeup on and then I'll have my hair curled. It's so crazy. I think it's also a medication thing, like having the capacity, the executive function to sit down and curl my hair now. So I just could never, oh my god, I could not gather up the energy. I couldn't gather up the energy to do my makeup most days, which is insane. But like, I'm so over my straight hair. Like I don't hate it, but I'm like, oh my god, I do look so much better with my hair curled. Like I look, it just, again, it's like more youthful or something, or it just like flatters my face more. And I wash my hair less when it's curled because I use dry shampoo more, and I think because it's not sitting so flat on my head, it doesn't get greasy as often or something. Oh, it's so crazy that it has to come with my straight hair. Like, who am I? Who is this person? I don't even know what lip products to use. I've got so many. I need to stop buying them. This is the Peripera Mood. It's in Korean, so I can't read it. In shade 13. Is that a nice color? Ah, cute color, but it needs something else. This is the COLORGRAM Fruity Glass Tint in 1004 Pink Gloss. And it's just a sparkly clear gloss with a silicone applicator, which I love. So you can just whack it clean afterwards. Why aren't they all like this? So this is how the makeup looks. That blush placement ended up looking quite nice. It's quite subtle, which is good. I don't think I need to bring it back there anymore, which I was so used to doing. And then the slightly thinner eyebrows, I like. What do you think? Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed. It was a bit of a ramble. I think I've tired myself out like a little kid. Thanks for watching. Love you guys. I hope you have a wonderful start to 2025, and I will see you all soon. Bye everyone.